The Touchdown City Show is presented by Masters Law Firm, West Virginia's personal injury lawyers. Coming to you from the Stone Church Studio in St. Albans, West Virginia, this is the Touchdown City Show.
Thank you for downloading this week's episode of the Touchdown City Show, presented by the Masters Law Firm, West Virginia's injury lawyers. I'm Anthony Lewis in the Stone Church Studio today with Matt Durrett, Derek Bailey, and the GOAT as we recover from the Mountaineer Main Street event in St. Albans yesterday. Beautiful day on Main Street in St. Albans. I think this was the fourth year doing this.
It's been quite. It feels at least 4.
The folks at LM Communications 100.9 The Mix. They are the Mountaineer Sports Network affiliate based out of Charleston. They do an excellent job with this, with the Mountaineer Main Street. The Mountaineer Marching Band was there, the cheerleaders, the dance team, and of course your boy Avon was there along with Major Harris, Brian Joswiak, John Pennington, Owen Schmitty, Truck Bryan, Kevin Pittsnoggle making a debut. Who was the debuts this year? Oh no, Owen's been there.
It was Truck and
I don't recall Pittsnoggle.
This is the first year for Kevin.
Yeah, it was Truck and Pittsnoggle. Pittsnoggle, I mean, shout out to him. He's got a little popcorn thing that's going, and it's fantastic.
I've had it.
I'm not a kettle corner, but he had a caramel corn, and he put salt on it. Phenomenal. Shout out to you, bro.
Is that bag of shit you were carrying around?
Yeah.
And eating?
It was phenomenal.
I didn't think you ate sweets.
I
that
love
body's
caramel.
a temple, isn't it?
Oh, man, I tell you what.
I've had it. He brought it up to the Joswiak. We were up there, and I brought a bag home, and I got about 3 pieces out of it, and Emily ate the rest of it.
Was that
the neighbor?
You get the caramel corn, or did you get the?
It was the caramel, yeah.
Yeah, that caramel was amazing.
Joswiak was holding court in Drummies.
Oh yeah. They like to take him down in there. I don't know how he gets into that place.
He's
he's about the same height as me. He's got a duck when you come through the door, and then once you're in, you can pop back up.
Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah.
Barely made it through the door today. You feeling all right?
No, not really. It was a bloodbath out there for me today on the golf course. Not a great day. Not a great round. I'm not feeling great. I was out kind of late last night, about 12:30, 1 o'clock. It's later than what I usually do. And
so I'm thinking that what is that, Beast? You was drinking that Beast?
No, I was drinking Miller Lite. I didn't have a bunch. I didn't overserve myself. I just didn't hit the ball well today. It was just a nightmare. I probably should have just saved myself the time. Said write me down for a hundo and let's go from there. Let me know if I win a raffle prize. If I win that driver, I'm taking it straight back to Dick's and getting the money.
All right. Well, there's a lot going on. Obviously, West Virginia kicks off their season on Saturday, but this past week there was a court ruling in West Virginia's favor, and it feels like West Virginia is always at the forefront of all this stuff, going all the way back to even like Alston versus the NCAA. You know, with that lawsuit, which ultimately, it's funny. People always think it was Sean Alston that sued. The only reason he was listed first is because he was A.
Alphabetically, yeah.
But there were several people on the lawsuit, and then of course the battle. You know, that thing back in January, I believe, or was that 2 years ago?
Who knows? It's amazing to me that West Virginia always seems to be at the forefront of these, because for some reason, when West Virginia tries to do something, there's a huge uproar within the NCAA, and I have no clue why, because everybody else seems to do whatever they want. Like, it doesn't feel like there's rules at this point. I mean, we're trying to ding Michigan State for recruiting violation. You can't text a kid during a time, but you can offer him $10 million to come to your school now. What kind of crap is this? Anyhow, the 4 players involved, everybody knows, Jamori Robinson, Jeffrey Weimer, Ty Edwards, and Justin Harrington. What happened is they filed an injunction. A lawyer did. They filed their lawsuit on August 1st, and there was an injunction filed to give them eligibility for the 2025 season. Robinson's case is a little bit different, in my opinion, than others, because Robinson's kind of seems like there might be an academic issue, and usually if it's an academic issue, there's sometimes they won't rule on those, like a federal judge won't rule on those. So I'm not 100% sure with his case, but as of right now, all 4 players are eligible, and that's what matters. I mean, and let's be honest, Robinson is a fantastic player. He 10.5 sacks at Texas San Antonio and Defensive Player of the Year in that conference. So he would be a huge addition to West Virginia's roster, and hopefully he stays eligible all season long.
Yeah, Robinson comes in with 43 tackles at UTSA. Ty Edwards, of course, went for over 1,500 at Northern Iowa. Justin Harrington will be a safety. Now, he's got playing time registered and starting time registered at Oklahoma and Washington, so I think he'll be an immediate impact once they can get him up and running at the safety position. And, of course, Jeff Weimer was a wide receiver at UNLV, and in my book, you can't have too many wide receivers. So, they've got a running back and a wide receiver back on the offensive side of the ball that I'm sure they'll work into the system. What made me wonder, and one thing that stood out to me that was a little odd was the fact that, and this is what kind of upsets me about the NCAA, right? So they've been sitting on this paperwork, and they get into court and they throw even if the injunction comes through, he's not academically eligible. Why didn't you just come out and say that? Like, why did they have to go through all this and they were just waiting? I mean, we're a week out from the football season. They don't have people working on this stuff.
Well, I mean, why does it take so long to rule on things? Like, you're punishing somebody. You try to punish somebody, and you punish them 2 and 3 years after the facts of everything that you've, quote, investigated and found and blah, 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 blah. And this goes on all the time, but it's amazing to me, though, that, like, other players will transfer. There was a kid that came in for Kansas. We spoke about it off air just a little bit ago. Basketball player that came in at the midterm and was granted immediate eligibility from high school.
Kid.
Yeah, I don't understand the differences in these cases and how it takes so long to rule on them. I mean, this should have been resolved quickly. I think some of it was part of the JUCO process, and I could have sworn not long ago they said that the JUCO did not count against your eligibility for regular NCAA football. So I don't know what takes so long with all these things. It's just it's absurd. The NCAA is just it's sad, is what it is.
They're done. I mean,
it's done.
NCAA, they are big brothering something that doesn't need that anymore. They're spearheading something that is the ship has sailed.
They're trying to stay relevant,
right.
And it's not working out for them. I mean, you can, whatever. Just do whatever you got to do and punish whoever you need to punish, or do whatever. Like, nothing you do matters. No one takes you seriously. No one cares. No one cares. And it amazes me that, like I said, they continue to try these things. Like, what are they going to do? Oh, we'll strip you of wins. We'll do this. We'll do that. Like, if West Virginia would have played these 4 players and they deemed, quote, ineligible, well, I don't care if you come back later and vacate wins. I watched the game on TV. I saw the final score.
Right.
What difference does it make? Like, I don't care what you say.
I don't think very many people do anymore because, I mean, this money is so this business is so for profit now. It's not. I mean, they want to keep their relevance in saying, hey, this is a student athlete. You're a student athlete. Come on, we get it, but at the same time, these kids are getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to play.
Some millions.
Yeah, some
are millions.
I said hundreds of thousands because a lot more.
It's probably an average.
You know what I mean? But
yeah, the only thing that I know we always discuss the basketball and the football aspect of it, but the reason why they have to kind of go about it that route is because you still got track, you still have all the other things that kind of play into, college athletics.
The NCAA is not, like, football, the way I understand it, is not NCAA sanctioned. Like, that college football playoff, that's not an NCAA event. The NCAA makes off their money off the NCAA basketball tournament. The college football side of it, that's not NCAA sanctioned, their playoff. That's just called the college football playoff. It is not the NCAA football playoff. The NCAA has nothing to do with that playoff.
So are you saying that basically someone that's not cleared through the NCAA can play in those games? I
mean, I don't see how. Okay, so say they would issue, like, I know Michigan's case was recently resolved and they were talking about a postseason ban. Well, if you give them a postseason ban, the college football playoff, and say a team goes 12-0, they can still select you. That has nothing to do with the NCAA. If the college football playoff wants to select you for the college football playoff, they can do so. Your postseason ban, now it could be a bowl ban, but I mean the playoff can still select you if they choose to. Which I think this is, like I said, it's all ridiculous now. There needs to be like a commissioner or some type of governing body that actually you can take serious, that will actually enforce rules that actually matter. Because as of right now, and I don't care what anyone says, there are no rules. Why follow any rule? I mean, teams are getting hit with like major level 1 violations. Tennessee got hit with I don't know how many. They got hit with a ton, and it was the coach, Pruitt was the coach for them, and he got a show cause or what. He doesn't care, and they don't care. Oh, it was an $8 million fine. Who cares? That's like $8 to Tennessee. No one cares. Like, and how can you enforce a rule when everybody else is doing the same thing? Like, but you're trying to punish. Oh, well, like the North Carolina, oh, well, we take our academics serious, and then they're handing out free classes, and nothing happens. But North Carolina A&T probably got the hammer for that.
They actually hammered the women's team.
That's right. That's what it was. It was like the women's basketball team or something.
They investigated the men and the women on these fake classes, and the women's team ended up getting the brunt of it.
Yeah. So, I mean, but I'm pretty sure like a postseason ban means absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of the like college football playoff because it's not NCAA sanctioned from my understanding the way that works.
Well, we'll see what happens with Robinson. I do know that the West Virginia's clearinghouse and their lawyers are trying to kind of make sure and understand the ruling. So because of the academic issue, that he will be eligible. But everything I've seen, everything I've read, he's playing Saturday. So
as he should.
Yeah, everything I've seen, everything I've read. With Joe Swiak being here, I did get a little bit of a report from camp. I don't think he'll mind that I've sourced him on this, but he went to practice Wednesday, and obviously he was a former teammate with Coach Rodriguez. So, and not to mention that he's a he's an former All-American, consensus All-American, basically.
It's credible sources, basically what you're saying, right?
So, well, I mean, but he was at practice, and he was there checking it all out. And I'm happy to kind of report a little bit about what he was telling me about just the energy level at practice is just a whole nother thing, right? Like people, there's no walking, standing around. There's a lot of just action going on. And he was telling me that so like the ones will come to the line, right? And they'll run 3 plays. And basically they've got guys out there, managers in ref uniforms. So after the play ends, what do you do when you get up, Avon? Or you get tackled.
You get up, you spot the ball. You get a ball to the official and
in a hurry
and run back.
Yeah. So
set up for the next one.
That's how they run it. And then so they run a play. And he said, I got my clock out. It was like timing the plays. He said they were running them in like 14 to 16 seconds. And then after the third one, they would sprint. Everyone sprints 30 yards, and then the 2 step up. And what that, of course, is doing is getting them ready for it's game prep, getting them in shape for the games. But it was just good to hear that there's a new energy level at practice, and it sounds like things are going well. He really liked the offensive line. He said they got some big boys up there. Obviously we've seen the names, seen the sizes, but when we'll see. But Brian was really enjoying some of the offensive line play.
Well, you read where Rod has said that his offense isn't necessarily like, a lot of people talk about taking shot plays. Like you're going to take a shot, try to get down the field, get the end zone. He's their offense. They don't talk about that. He just wants to move the ball and get first downs.
Mm-hmm. It's always been his
He's not looking for like deep shot ball, like anything crazy or taking the top off. He just wants to consistently move the ball downfield and just stay fast.
Mm-hmm. Well, when he was Ole Miss's offensive coordinator, that's kind of what got Lane Kiffin rolling, in my opinion, down there, because Kiffin, they snapped the ball sometimes. I feel like at Ole Miss, they snapped the ball within the first 10 seconds of the play clock. So if that's the kind of tempo you're looking for, that's a huge advantage if you can keep that up for an entire game and make a defense play 100 snaps.
If you have your team conditioned to play fast and play like that, then you're going to wear some teams out in the later stages of it, which with our previous regime, it seemed as though the third and fourth quarter is when we kind of fell off. So if he's preparing them to play this fast and be that active, then we should see the opposite effects this year with us being the guys wearing the other team down in the third and fourth quarter, and that's when we should come to shine.
The only thing I'm concerned with, because I remember our first year, we were good, but we weren't that good, and we had our defense on the field a lot. you're snapping 3 plays in 30 seconds.
Yeah,
And now the defense is on the field right now. Like, oh my goodness.
You can give up the touchdown and be 3 and out in 15 seconds, and the defense is right back out there. That's bad news. That is trouble.
We've seen it.
Yeah,
yes,
that could be a problem. But I think we have enough weapons on that offense to be a good offense. And I think that White is a huge piece of it, but I also don't want to overlook. I think Marchiol is going to have a good year.
You just crowned him, huh?
I didn't crown him. I said I think he's going to have a good year. I'm not gonna dump on him like you like to do and say he's not going to ever be the guy. But I think he's going to have a good year. I think he's undervalued. He's 3-0 as a starter. He doesn't make, in what I've seen of him, he didn't make a ton of mistakes. He seems like he's a smart kid and has his head on his shoulders. But
or plays.
I think he's going to surprise you.
I'm up for. I would say let it be an open competition. I mean, I don't want to crown this guy. He had he's been there, and he hasn't produced the way that I think.
Well, it's open.
He hasn't really had a chance to go and do, like, you're looking for him to throw up like monster number. He hasn't really had a chance. He's 3-0 as a starter.
Listen, I don't want to look back at anything that had Neal Brown's name attached to it. Seriously, like, that's not really a fair assessment with that offense and then, like, the way they were doing things. So
there's one thing I do like about Marchiol. I'm going to give him credit. He stuck around. He's paid his dues. He's hung in there. He could have easily left and went back towards his home, and he stayed here. So he must really love WVU, which is a huge plus in my opinion. Now, having said that, I'm still with Avon. You play your best players. If he's the best option, play him. If somebody else is the better option, play that person. I don't care. Play your best players. And but as far as Nico, I like him simply for the fact that he stuck it out. He stuck it out at WVU, and he could have left. He could have easily left.
I think it's got to be close because if the kid that came from A&M, if Henderson was that much head and shoulders better than him, Henderson would have been announced as a starter.
Yeah, but I don't think you can give him that crown, being a starter unless he's head and shoulders better.
Yeah.
If it's close, they're going to give it to the guy that's already.
Well, they've already said they're not going to name a starter until 159.
Yeah, you'll see who's starting.
I get it, but unless like. You're going to give the benefit of the doubt the guy that's had his tenure. However, somebody did tell me that it's going to be a Pat White, whoever the other guy was, Bednarik type of situation to where
that was a situation until Pat came in and put him.
Well, right. I've actually got some questions for that later in the show, but before we dump into our first break, I want to remind you guys the text line 304-729-4465. Couple of texts. Josh from Clendenin, I believe that's Josh Humphreys, says, I want one of those autographed Avon Coburn cards. So we just had Avon sign them. So, Josh, you'll get one of those in the mail. Also, too, on the text line, Greg from Sun Valley says, good vibes from Main Street yesterday. Pumped for the season. Tell Derek I get his mail. I still get his mail. That's the guy.
That's the guy that bought our house.
That bought your house. He stopped by the booth yesterday.
He's a younger guy. He's probably in his early 20s. He's a real nice guy.
Yeah, he said him and his wife stopped by and they listened and they were looking for you and
sorry I missed you guys.
Yeah, and he had a little bone to pick with you. He asked why didn't you tell him about the neighbor. I guess him and the neighbor have some beef, but I
have no clue which neighbor.
Yeah, who knows. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I want to do a little bit of I got some true-false questions for you guys. Also, too, later in the show, we'll be doing the Alumni Hall Trivia Question of the Week. Again, the phone number, 304-729-4465. We'll give you a $25 gift card to Alumni Hall with the first person to text in the correct answer. Alumni Hall, I just got a box in the mail. I got some of that 1965 gear. I came yesterday. And I unboxed it, so swing by our Facebook page and check that out. But we'll give away a $25 gift card. And don't forget, Alumni Hall has locations in Charleston and Morgantown. And we'll be back after this.
Visit our new website at touchdowncity.com.
Have you been injured at no fault of your own? The Masters Law Firm is on your side and here to help you in your time of need. With decades of experience, our team understands the toll that injuries take on victims and their families, offering both legal expertise and unwavering support. From car accidents to complex injury cases across West Virginia, we've got you covered. Visit our website at themasterslawfirm.com or call us today at 304-342-3106 for a free consultation. Your journey to recovery starts with us.
Tony the Tailor is well known for having the best quality suits and jackets available anywhere. But our strength is actually our sophisticated footwear and casual wear. From Brax pants to LBM soft jackets and Hagen shirts, Johnny O sportswear, DiBianco, Allen Edmonds, and Johnston & Murphy shoes, plus much more. We have what you need for work or at play. Tony the Tailor, downtown Charleston, or online at bestmastertailor.com.
What's going on, Mountaineer fans? Former West Virginia Mountaineer Steve Slayton, and you're listening to Touchdown City Show.
And welcome back to the Touchdown City Show, presented by the Masters Law Firm. And again, do not forget, later in the show, we have the Alumni Hall Trivia Question of the Week. Make sure you stick around for that. Another tidbit of news that came out this week was the SEC. They're going to 9 games, non-divisional structure. They'll play 3 annual opponents. I guess their goal is to focus on rivals, and the remaining 6 games will rotate, and each team in the SEC will face other programs at least once every 2 years, and every opponent home and away every 4 years. So my question is, does West Virginia and Alabama square up next year?
They're trying to keep it. From what Baker says, he's been on the phone with Lions. They're trying to keep that still a thing, and he's trying to extend the Pitt series, and then there's obviously the rumors of the Marshall thing. But I can see Bama dumping us because Bama's going to want to – with playing 9 SEC games, Bama's now going to want to add another cupcake to the wheel, right? Like they get a couple of cupcakes every year, and they usually play one late, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see them trying to dump out of it. I hope we don't let them, but I can see them trying to get out of it.
I mean, I don't know if they'll play or not. I don't have much of an opinion because I think it's ridiculous.
You don't want to go to Tuscaloosa with us?
The game's at Morgantown next year.
I know, but we're going to go to Tuscaloosa.
When's the game in Tuscaloosa? Is it 27? Yeah. 27? I don't think the game.
We had already signed you up.
I don't think the game will be played. I mean, I'm just saying I don't think the games will be played. I think Alabama will be able to dump West Virginia.
If it is, clean your car out because you're driving us down.
I'm driving you to Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care either way. I mean, I would prefer to keep that rivalry with Pitt fired up, and extend those. And I also was beat up by A. Lou's sister saying, "Hey, if they do dump us, put us in there going to Dublin in a couple years."
Oh, she wants to. Your sister wants to go to Ireland pretty badly.
Well, she's got a passport, so she likes to travel around a lot.
I can't remember. The Ireland game. Life is old.
I don't know what the hell happened.
She's got a passport. She likes to travel.
Ireland has a game next year. I don't remember who it is.
And, it's in 28, I think.
Would you rather the Alabama thing stick, or would you rather them, now that Gibby's down at Marshall and you got a little bit more WVU, would you rather see him sign up 2-1 with Marshall?
I don't care. I just like to see him. If I had to pick, I think I want to keep Pitt on the schedule. And then outside of that, I don't really care who they play. I don't know if you need to play Marshall and Pitt in the same season.
Yeah, and I mean, if we're throwing them out there, I mean, I would love to get back into that VTech as well. Now, I know that's one game I don't like. I mean, Alabama, I don't really care. Yeah,
we don't have a rival. Like right. I want a game.
Bama's more of just you're playing a team that's always there.
Good.
Right?
Well, that game was signed years ago, and it was supposed to be the Nick Saban homecoming type of deal.
And the thing with me, though, I'm like Avon. I would rather see Pitt. I would rather see Virginia Tech. I mean, I would actually like to play Boston College or Syracuse, just for the sake of old times. I mean, a Syracuse is a little bit – they're going to be a little bit better than they've been here recently. I think they'll be decent this year. They were decent last year. I would rather see somebody like that because I'm kind of like Avon. I don't care about Alabama. It's Alabama. I mean, yeah, it would be great to beat them and everything else, and it would be great to just play them. But, like, at the end, I would rather play games that people care about. It's hard to care about some of these games in the Big 12. Like, I don't care about playing Arizona. I could care less about playing Arizona. I don't care about them.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind playing Penn State again.
Yeah, Penn State would be fine.
I would like to be Penn, but I mean, that doesn't matter. I mean, it's not Nick Saban's not there anymore. So the allure of Alabama to me is not the same.
They're just going to wheel him out to flip a coin.
I mean,
I mean, really.
I mean,
and actually, he won't even be there. He's on the game day set.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is there's rumors that he's going to the NFL. So we'll see.
So there was football games over the weekend. The highlight for me was Iowa State over Kansas State, 21-14 in Dublin. That's where
24-21.
24-21. That's where my sister, of course, thinks West Virginia should play next year. But going back and checking it out, man, that was sloppy and wet, and then tons of early mistakes. I mean, fumbles. Derek, you watched it. Rocco Beck, threw for 183 yards, 2 touchdowns, ran for 1, looked good in the victory, but what a sloppy game.
A lot of people, I'm seeing a lot of criticism from people just, on Twitter or whatever you want to call it now. There's a lot of people criticizing how ugly of a game it was and everything, and that's fine. That's fair. I didn't think either team was very sharp. I thought both teams looked very vulnerable in a lot of spots. But what people have to understand is you're all the way in Ireland. It's raining. The field is awful. Right. It's terrible conditions. It's the first game. Defense is always ahead of offense early in the season. You're playing a team that you're familiar with. I mean, that's a conference game to open all the way in Ireland. So while there was fumbles and things like that in the first half, I thought it was an ugly game. The second half was better, but it wasn't much better. Guy falls down on a 65-yard touchdown, And I did think Rocco Beck makes some great throws. He also threw some throws. He had some throws that should have been picked off that Kansas State just dropped. The quarterback from Kansas State didn't have an outstanding game. He didn't look like he normally does. But again, that goes back to you're familiar with what your opponent's doing in the opener because you play them every year, and it is an opener. Like most teams go out there and play, whoever, like LIU Brooklyn's going to Florida. Well, Florida's going to beat them 80-0. It's LIU Brooklyn. You all remember when West Virginia beat them 66-0?
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I believe Michigan lost to App State in a situation that was an easy one, right?
Okay, so Appalachian State was
let's not
much
get ahead
better
of ourselves. All I'm saying, Shelby, don't get ahead of yourself and think it's always going to be a cakewalk.
I will tell you this. I will take that Appalachian State team against LIU Brooklyn, and they would beat them by 50. All right, I'm not even going to exaggerate that. They had some pros on that team, and I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, but, at the end, when you're playing a team like that, like these teams that are opening up, Texas, Ohio State, LSU, and Clemson, they may look bad on offense because the defenses are so far ahead. I don't know. You don't know what you're going to get. But
Texas is offense.
The thing that's different now is they get to practice all year round.
That's true.
So
too.
They shouldn't be as bad. But going back to the Dublin, the Ireland game, those conditions are never good out there.
It was awful.
So when I played NFL Europe, it was sloppy. It was always wet. Always, everywhere in Germany is just, or in Europe, it just wasn't good. It wasn't a good setting. However, getting back to it, the teams that were playing, they were very familiar with each other. So it's not something that you're going to see a really, really good game. And it's two great teams, two defensive-minded teams that are going to play defense, and you're not going to get a shootout, in that environment.
And you're also talking about, like, in today's brand of college football, today's era, you have the transfer portal. Now, I don't know how many transfers those teams had, but, like, you might have 14 new guys playing. So, right. Like, you don't know what you're going to get in that first game. So, it's just, there's a lot of factors that played into it. But at the end, Iowa State got a nice win. That's a big win for them to start the season. And Beck did get 3 touchdowns, which is huge. And I thought he threw a touchdown. He threw a beautiful ball for a touchdown. It was his first touchdown pass. It was a beautiful ball.
I thought both of them looked pretty good, actually. The second one
second one was good, but the first one was it was perfect.
In case you're not picking up what Lou's putting down, Rocco Beck for Heisman. That's his early front line.
I knew that was coming.
Maybe for Big 12 Player of the Year. We shall see. The front runners, actually, everyone had kind of predicted K-State was going to be, and they could very well end up playing Iowa State again in the Big 12 championship. Avery Johnson with K-State, great quarterback. But did you guys see this? After the game, Avery Johnson's dad and brother got into a fight outside the stadium. There was video all over Twitter, and here's the kicker. They got into a fight with each other, a family fight.
What?
They did. I mean, if that report is true, I saw the footage. I did see the video.
Yeah, they issued a statement. They said, we apologize for our actions. And, of course, the little iPad here shuts down as I start to read the statement. But there was a fight outside the stadium. And at first I was seeing it on X, and I was like, what is going on here? And come to find out, it was the dad and brother. But here we go. They issued a statement saying, we apologize for our actions following yesterday's game in Ireland. Senseless bickering escalated into an unnecessary fight.
Who won?
I don't know.
Did the brother get the best of the dad?
Here's what that video I didn't see. It just looked like they were just trying to break him up, but there was standing water on the road.
Yeah, it was wild. I mean, and let's be honest, the game was in Ireland.
Yeah.
We all know there was some booze going around out there.
Yeah. So here's my question for you guys: did you guys ever try to square up on your old man?
Never.
I would never make that move.
Never. I would
no
now.
Shot.
I would now. My
it's
dad
a wonder.
He's frail now, but as a kid, no, sir.
It's a wonder my dad didn't kill all of us.
Even as a teenager, you never tried to get a little.
Nah. Once that voice changed, you knew when there's a look and there's a change in the voice to let you know, shut that shit down right now.
Steve's busting his ass 24/7. There ain't no doubt about it.
Once I know when the switch is flipped, and I shut it down real quick.
You had a flashback just now.
He'd take a little bit of that, and then there'd be a look, and then it'd be like, cut the shit, and be like, all right, my bad, and then I'd move along. So no, I never did. I never thought to do that. Yeah. Never ever.
How about you, Lou?
Yeah, I tried to one time.
Yeah.
It didn't last long.
Yeah, nah.
Did he bust
I
your
was
head
like,
to the
I think
white
I was
meat?
like 16, and I thought I was gonna try, and he handled that pretty quick. You know, I don't know if you guys remember what type of shape my dad was in, but
I do.
He was pretty jacked. He used to do his little. He'd have like those 100-pound barbells that would do the isolated presses. So. You know what those hundreds are like.
Yeah. You catch one of them. Ooh.
Yeah. No. So it was a bad idea. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to do the Alumni Hall Trivia Question of the Week, 304-729-4465. I'll get that to you again, 304-729-4465. That's for a $25 gift card to Alumni Hall. We'll do that after this.
The text line is open. Send your questions or comments to 304-729-4465.
As the game gets faster, stronger, more dynamic, your equipment has to keep up. Introducing the Riddell Axiom, the next evolution in football protection, designed to match the speed and strength of today's athlete. Contact West Virginia Riddell representative Casey Turley at 304-552-5960. Gear up, play smart, stay protected.
Welcome back to the Touchdown City Show.
And welcome back to the Touchdown City Show, presented by the Masters Law Firm. Now it's time for the Alumni Hall Trivia Question of the Week. Again, the phone number, 304-729-4465. The question, in 2000, who was the backup quarterback for Ole Miss that entered the game into the fourth quarter against West Virginia and went 12 for 20 and threw 3 touchdowns against the Mountaineers? Again, the phone number, 304-729-4465. Who was the backup quarterback for Ole Miss that came into the Music City Bowl and went 12 for 20 and threw 3 touchdowns? For a $25 gift card to Alumni Hall, and again, they have locations in Charleston and Morgantown. They announced
Can I answer that?
No. You just got your Alumni Hall stuff. All right, so they announced this year's WVU Sports Hall of Fame. The football portion of it, let's go through the list here real quick. Bill Kurlavich, 32 years at West Virginia, appeared in 23 bowl games, came to West Virginia with Coach Frank Cignetti in 1979, and in 2010 was FootballScoop.com's Defensive Line Coach of the Year. He's only the second football assistant to be inducted into the WVU Sports Hall of Fame. Donnie Young is the other one that went in 2016. but well-deserved. Bill Kurlavage, one of the all-time great characters in college football history.
Great.
He is an unbelievable human being. So when I went to WVU, he was my coach. I mean, obviously D-line, but I would run the scout team. And this guy would yell at you. He would yell at you so bad. I had a buddy of mine, I think I told the story before. Ben Meehan was a quarterback from Kentucky. And he's like, hey, put that damn Kentucky guy in it, the old world Kentucky guy. And he's got this finger that his pinky always stays bent. Put that damn Kentucky guy in here. Then you throw for 6,000 yards. Why the hell you always running the ball? Throw the ball. And the dude, but then after that, he would love on you like you would not believe. Hey, are you good? You need me to get you any? He was super intense. One of the greatest coaches I've ever, he taught me so much about relationships. Cause I'm like, man, why are you yelling at me like this? Like, I'm out here doing my best. He's like, hey, I'm trying to get my guys fired up. I love you. You keep going hard. I'm like, why you ain't tell me that before you start yelling at me? You're killing my confidence. But, yeah. Kalab is amazing, man. If there was any assistant that I think should have ever, he should already been in. This dude is unbelievable.
I always loved the fact that he wore the dark shades all the time.
Oh, every day.
Hat turned around backwards, got in the trenches with the guys. Think about the guys he coached. That's
what I was about to say. There was one constant with West Virginia football for a long time, and the defensive line seemed to be one of the better position groups that West Virginia always had. You can go back all the way to Ronaldo Turnbull.
Go back.
I'm going as back, as long. I'm 44, so that's 35 years ago for me. I was 9. There's guys before that even, but I can think of Turnbull right off the top of my head. And you had Canute Curtis was in there. You've had, I believe, Nield was in there. Julian Miller. You had tons of guys that was on that defensive line that were very good players, and he was the consistent. I can't name. You can't name them all. You can't name them all. Mike Fox. Yeah, you can't name them all.
John Thornton.
David Upchurch.
John Browning.
Gary Stills. You can name a ton.
Keelan Dykes.
There's tons.
He's tons of guys in the league, and he's one of those guys. And the reason why you put him in is because he coached you up. And he coached you up.
He's the kind of coach you want to play for.
He's 32 years, and that's what I said. We're naming the players. That's why he's in, and
I didn't play there, but going to camps up there and shit. Man, you knew that's the kind of guy that I like to play for. That's
keeping it real.
Yeah, and that's the kind of people you want to play for. It may not always be what you want to hear, but he's going to tell you the truth, and he's going to help you to get better. And if he's yelling at you, it's not because he's trying to run you off. He's trying to make you realize your potential and get you to play to that. He sees something else in you. People, they don't get that with coaches, man. Now, if you yell at a kid, it's just, you're a bad guy, right? But in reality, when we were coming up, that's the kind of coach you wanted to play for, because if they're yelling at you and not letting you just slack and do, minimal, they care about you.
That's right.
And they're going to look out for you.
Avon can tell you if they quit yelling at you, he was a coach. If they quit yelling at you, they've given up on you.
It's time to go get somebody else. But the other side of Kalab is, if he's yelling at you, it's for a reason. He's already put money in the bank to where now it's coming from a place of love. It's not coming from I'm just trying to. I've coached with players. With coaches that would just tear down players. I'm like, won't you just cut them? But Kalab is he remind me of the coach for the Steelers, to where he's like, why would I? My job is to make my players better. Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is like, when a coach says I can't coach this guy, that means you're done. That means you're not a good coach. And Kalab was never, from the scout team because he ran the scout team car, especially on 907, the inside drill. And, this guy, he just showed so much love the whole time I was on there. And I was busting my butt and getting my butt busted by Barrett Green and Gary Stills and Charlton. It was crazy. But he had his guys working so hard, and that's where I developed my work ethic from being on 907 and watching how his guys worked every week. It was phenomenal.
Also on the list, two sports standout Daryl Whitmore, obviously was a key member of the 1988 team. Broke his leg in the Syracuse game, and if you guys remember, I don't know if you guys remember this, but going into that game, the concern was the West Virginia defense because they had to play so many guys out of position. Whitmore broke his leg. I think Orlando had to move.
It was yes.
Everyone was out of position on the defense going into that game, but he was a second-round draft pick by the Cleveland Indians. Played pro ball from 1990. Played 12 years pro ball and was with the Florida Marlins in the Major League Baseball. Two sports standout, but played baseball at West Virginia University as well. But he's going in probably under both. They'll probably have a picture of him in both of his uniforms. Great guy. We had him on Section 304. Do you remember that? We had him on that years ago. And then, of course, they're putting Pat McAfee in, West Virginia's all-time leading scorer. His career speaks for itself with his college career, his pro career, and then now being the biggest sports media star in the world. Well-deserved. And, of course, the legendary Coach Stu. They're going to put Bill Stewart in. Obviously led the Mountaineers 48-28 over the Oklahoma Sooners in the 2008 Fiesta Bowl. Won a 2010 Big East championship. I had forgot about that.
UConn got to go to the bowl because of some tiebreaker.
Yeah. But they did get the championship.
That's stupid.
Yeah, and then but that UConn team was pretty good that year, though.
But I think West Virginia actually beat that team. No, I'm wrong. I think West Virginia lost to UConn that year. I don't know.
They have a running back on that team. Was that Donald Brown?
Yep.
They had the receiver that played for the Bills. He had only played football for like 2 years. He was a big old dude.
Yeah. And here's the thing, though, and this is the thing that I always when I think about Stu, the team that won the Orange Bowl, that was his team, 100%. So his career at West Virginia coaching, 28-12, and when I put on my little sheet here, on my notes, I put he was loved by the players. Coach Stu was a player's coach. Like, he was just that dude that, you can go back and forth about whatever you think about his head coaching tenure there, but he was loved by the players. Was just a class act all the time.
Coach Stu had the starting running back clamoring to play punt block for him. I wanted to be a part of whatever he was doing. I'm like, he had their special, like, he was our special teams coach, and he was having so much fun and, loving on the guys and getting them excited about what he's doing. And I'm like, I want to get on there. And I actually blocked a punt too. And it was tipped. I think the guy dropped it and I got there. But
now that I think about it.
Yeah, I blocked the punt. And again, I was doing whatever I could to be a part of, what he was doing. As tired as I was, because when you block a punt, then it's when you're on punt return, you got to go back on offense after that. So it's like, man, I'm starting. This is my first drive of the series. My first play of the series. But he was one of those guys that you could, you would run through a wall for, because he's very, very similar to Coach Calab, where he just loved on you, man. He just loved on you so much, and you wanted to do everything you could to be a part of his team.
Yeah, I remember when the transition happened with Rich and Coach Nealon. The very first spring, I went over to a practice, and I was just over there trying to just gather some video for archival and whatever. But anyway, I'm over there, and as you well know, the practices were pretty wild and loud and intense. And I knew that Rich and the staff, they did not know me. Coach Nealon's staff knew me. This staff didn't have a clue who I was. And I wouldn't step foot on that field. I've told this story before. I was like, I'm just going to stand over here with everybody else. And Stu saw me standing there with my camera in my hand, and he called me over and was like, and told me, he said, just hang with me. That way they see you out here, and it's okay. And then they'll know that you're one of our guys, and it's okay. And I'll never forget that. And, of course, anytime you went to the facility especially when he was head coach, before they started locking the doors, you could just walk in there and just ask Lori, hey, is Stu in? And, yeah, he's in there. And you just walk in, and he'd be super excited to see you. So, congratulations. I text Blaine, and obviously he's very proud of his father, and continuing the tradition of being a football coach. Coaching, he's in Tampa Bay right now. So speaking of Tampa Bay, I don't know if he's going to make the team. I think we talked about him last week, but Garrett Green got his first NFL touchdown. Nice catch too. I don't know if he's going to make the roster, but I think he's got a shot to be a practice guy and get a couple NFL paychecks.
I mean, if you get on a practice squad, that's good. I mean, obviously everybody wants to play. But I mean, like even the practice squad, you can get some paychecks. Like that matters. If you can stay on those and hang around long enough and get an NFL pension, that's fantastic. If you can do that, and he's shown a little bit of athletic ability. That catch he made last night, over the weekend, that catch was a nice catch. I mean, he made it there in the corner of the end zone. He was a good athlete. I don't think anyone ever doubted his athletic ability. It's just we knew that the accuracy at quarterback, we probably knew he wasn't going to play quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. Kirk Herbstreit over the weekend on Saturday was handing out the Herbie Awards. Did you see Coach?
I didn't.
Coach Rod got the New Hire of the Year award.
Yeah, it was between Rodriguez,
Belichick,
and someone else. I can't remember who it was. And he said Rodriguez was the best hire award.
Yeah, I did see it, but I didn't. I seen it on one of the socials, and I was like, and you clicked on it, and it took me somewhere else. I said, I'm not doing it.
I think there's a little bit like there's more excitement to West Virginia nationally. I feel like with the intrigue of Rich Rodriguez being back at the helm.
No, not at all. You know why there's more excitement nationally? Because we got Pat McAfee, buddy.
He pushes, he does, and that's good.
But that's it. I mean, without that, he would be Bill Belichick. But why wouldn't you be more excited about Bill Belichick? Because Pat McAfee talks about Rich Rod a lot more.
Hang on, though. I think the reason people aren't more excited about Bill Belichick is, I will say this: Bill Belichick has no personality whatsoever. Rodriguez has some personality, and he can make some people laugh. He'll give you some sound bites. Belichick's just like, oh, we're playing North Carolina State. I mean, that's what you get.
Yeah, but you still would be excited about it because you're like,
But I mean, like on the national level, that's why I feel like Rodriguez is a bigger story because he coached at WVU. He took WVU to the brink of a national championship, and that is a bigger story to me with North Carolina.
Well, Herbstreit, he likes Rich.
Yeah,
he really likes Rich, and actually, I saw an interview or something, and it may have been the clip for this. He said it's good to have him back in college football because he's got a lot of personality. So, he will
give it to you.
Yeah, he'll give it to you. So, all right, let's get into it. West Virginia, Robert Morris this weekend in Morgantown. So over the weekend, I got a text message from the Charleston Gazette beat writer, high school or college. He's going to be covering WVU this year, Taylor Kennedy, and he had an interview with the Robert Morris coach. And I got a couple of cuts here. He likes his football team. And I the interview really stood out. Taylor did a great job, but I want to play a couple cuts for you.
My guys is probably the best way to put it. We don't have a whole lot of turds. All of our guys want to become a good team. They're playing well together. They're working well together. We haven't had a whole lot of fights in training camp. There are a few here and there, but nothing serious. All of our guys are in the right frame of mind when they're stepping onto the football field. That's probably the most important thing. I mean, like I said, being able to start fast, being physical, and finishing is extremely important. But all our guys have that compete mind. And no one's here to step on anybody else's toes. Everybody's competing against each other. Hey, this guy's obviously going to be the starter. Let me see what I can do and how can I contribute. So those things become real important when you're talking about special teams. So we have a great camaraderie here with these guys, something I haven't seen in a long time, which I'm really, really positive about.
One of the things in the interview that he talked about was the fact that, and this would be hard, and it's hard. It's got to be hard all across the country, right? So he's got to prepare for a West Virginia team that he knows nothing about. Obviously, it's not the same roster. It's not the same coaches. So how do you scout?
You dust off the Jacksonville State tapes.
Yeah, you just go and find tendencies. You won't look at personnel. You will look at tendencies from the coach and make sure you can see, okay, third down they do this, first down is normally these formations. So you're not going to get personnel. Like you're going to get personnel day one, or when they give you the roster, say, okay. And if you have a big enough staff, you can go find clips on all these players. But a lot of times when you're looking at a new coach that was, you know, in a different place, you would go back to that place he was to scout him and get the tendencies. But as far as players wise, you know, it's tough for the players because we don't technically know what the game plan is until we get it. And you're trying to look at, you know, the players you're going to play against, and they're not going to. That's going to be hard for them unless again you got a good staff to say, hey, running backs, look at this guy. He was in Bowling Green last year. Now he's here, you know, type of thing. So that's if you got a big enough staff. But I'm pretty sure they're not going to be able to do that with their coaching staff.
Here's what he had to say about it.
And even looking at West Virginia, like I watched some of their film from last year, like their offensive line. I don't know if they got an offensive lineman back that was there last year. So that becomes a little tough when you're trying to figure out personnel. But also, Coach Rodriguez, he brought some guys from different places where they coached at. Like the defense coordinator he has right now was with him at Jacksonville State, but last year was at Oklahoma, but now he's back with him. So now we're trying to figure out, okay, what is he probably going to run? Is he going to run what he did at Oklahoma? Is he going to run what he did at Jacksonville State? So again, trying to navigate all those things get real tough. So the most important thing is for our guys to understand this is how you execute this against this. This is how you execute this against this, as opposed to trying to narrow in on one thing. There's a lot of things we're going to think about. And then once we hit that first series, understanding what we're seeing and what our players are seeing and getting their minds and bodies ready for those things.
I think when you're in his position, the things that you're trying to do is really this Saturday's game is about your own team. You know, it's not really about, you know, how you match up against West Virginia. These games are about your own team, figuring out who you guys are. Bernard Clark is his name. I totally blanked out on that, but I think he's been up there probably 5, 6, 7, 8 years. But you know, when you're coming into a game like this and you're Robert Morris, LIU, Duquesne, you're really just trying to see where you're at, get better, see where you stack up against a team like West Virginia, and then take your paycheck and go home. So obviously West Virginia, Robert Morris, 2:00. It's a gold rush in Morgantown. Supposed to be nice. I checked the weather this morning.
74.
So I'll take that.
That is nice.
So compared to last year, that
Penn
State
3 or 4 years.
Last year it was like 92.
Yeah. We were sitting in. I went with my uncle.
Wear a hoodie.
And we were sitting there, and I remember it was like, I feel like we scored, and then we got the ball back, and I even told Art, I said, my uncle, I said, if West Virginia scores here, I don't care how close or if we're up at halftime, I'm leaving. Because I just couldn't take the heat. It was just too much for me. But anyway, I don't want to get into predictions here with Robert Morris, but I want to ask you guys this. What do you want to see, Avon? What do you want to see out of West Virginia? Rich Rodriguez's first game back since he left to go to Michigan. But what do you want to see as far as this football team, and what do you want to see them do against Robert Morris? What are some things that you need to see stand out?
It's so I would love to see us dominant on the ground, but I want to see our quarterback play. That is going to be I want to see us throw passes and complete passes and have receivers catch the ball. I know we're going to run the ball well. I mean, if we don't run the ball well, I wouldn't be upset. I really want to see what type of, because I'm still in the dark. I mean, the people that I talk to, they're like, one day they look like they can go, 9-3. The next day or next week they can go 3-9. So I'm like, I want to see what type of offense we're going to run. And I am truly excited about our defense. I want to see what type of a defensive style So first, I want to see the quarterback play. That's the first thing. Second thing is I want to see the defense. I want to see them dominate this game. We played – who did we play last year that they threw like 300 yards against us? What was it, Duquesne? Yeah, Duquesne. I want to see our DBs don't have explosive plays.
Remember after the Duquesne game, he said, well, we were focused on shutting down the run or something. Defensive coordinator did.
He's an idiot.
Anyway, as far as the first game, what I would personally like to see, I want to see a team that comes out and plays with some fire. I want to see some passion on the field. Like the last several years, it feels like when a guy makes a nice play, there was just like no excitement. It was just like flat as a pancake. I want to see some excitement. I want to see the defense play well. I want to see them flying around, and I want to see West Virginia just absolutely dominate an opponent. I mean, I think it can happen, and I want to see them do very well in Rich's first game to build confidence for the rest of the season. You know, you don't know what you're going to get, and that's fine, but just play with some excitement, play with some fire, play with passion. That's what I want to see out of West Virginia. I can accept bad teams. West Virginia's not always going to go 10-2 or whatever. Even if they're 4-8, I want to see improvement as the season goes, and we haven't seen that in a long time out of West Virginia teams. So I want to see them play with some fire, play with some passion, and just be excited to be out there.
I'd like to see White go for about 130, a couple touchdowns, only play the first half, which means the game would be, settled in a blowout by halftime. Get the rest of your guys in. I'd like to see Nico and Gallagher or Nico and Jaden Bray have some sort of connection that looks like they've been working together in the offseason. And I really like to see the line hold everybody off of him and give him a clean pocket. Whether it be Nico or Henderson or, Khalil Wilkins, whoever's standing back
Nico
there.
Already.
I'd like to see them be upright for the better part of the game and not be under a lot of pressure. I'd like to see the line really stand out.
For me, I want to see the offense click and be smooth. I think if you come out and you make too many mistakes, that becomes discouraging, right? So you've been getting browbeat all summer. You've been out in the heat. As we all know, Coach Rodriguez is not quiet. So this is the time where it's supposed to be easy, right? This is what you've been training for. He makes practices hard, so it's easy. But at the same time, I want to see the offense come out and click and be smooth, to get confidence moving into Ohio. You've got an opportunity for the first time in years, right, where you're not opening with Penn State, where you get to stair step into the Pitt game. You've got a team that you should handle. You've got another team next week that you should beat, but you got to get better and then go on the road, which will be the hard part. So I want to see the offense be smooth, and I'd like to see several quarterbacks take some snaps and throw some nice balls. I think we've missed that over the last few years, having guys that can hit receivers in the windows, and I'd like to see that on Saturday.
Due to the lack of blowouts, too, there's been a lack of depth. If you can blow some teams out, you might be able to get some younger guys in the game to build some depth up.
That's very true. So, so again, we're not going to get into the score predictions and all that fun stuff. I think we all are in agreement here that West Virginia will win on Saturday. Again,
if we lose Saturday, we got some problems.
Yeah.
4-2.
Yeah, or 3-2 final. But, I mean, I never in my wildest dreams thought Coach Rich Rodriguez would be back in Morgantown.
I mean, we always wanted it, but we all wanted it. We all sat here like, man, let's bring this guy back, and I'm excited.
I think there's a lot of fans that were eager to get Rodriguez back. I feel, it's however you feel, it doesn't matter. I mean, we'll all
probably a 60-40 split. The 40 that hate it will be okay after he beats.
Everybody wants West Virginia to win, and I think if he wins, it doesn't. Winning cures all. Whoever the coach is, nobody cares. As long as
I don't know where you keep getting this 60-40 thing. They've sold 32,000 season tickets.
He's saying 60-40.
There's a lot. Oh, maybe it's just 40%.
Maybe it's
people I know.
Yeah, maybe so.
I can't count that as the whole population, can I? Because I don't know everybody.
I'm just looking at numbers. And they've sold a ton of season tickets. So people are excited. Who's going up? I know your ass isn't going anywhere, Derek. So I'm not even looking at you.
Yeah, I'm not going. I got funeral. One of my teammates. One of my teammates lost his sister.
You got tickets.
I didn't even ask for them.
Oh, man. I'm going to go up with you one game. I want to see what that's like. I know you ain't gonna get me. You ain't gonna get me none from the cage. So if I'm with you, maybe I'll get into the cage.
I heard there were more denials in the cage over the last couple of weeks.
What do you mean, Dan? I'm with Avon. Get the hell out of my way. Avon said I could get whatever I wanted.
I don't think it flies like
that. Wrong.
All right, we're going to get out of here, but thank you guys so much for downloading this week's episode of the Touchdown City Show. Don't forget, head over to touchdowncity.com. You can check out the radio schedule. We'll be hitting the air on Monday and some markets on Tuesday. So head over there, hit the radio schedule, and we'll be back next week after we've seen Country Roads, as we will be 1-0 and preparing for the Ohio Bobcats. So for the guys, I'm Anthony Lewis. Thanks for checking it out.